If you're looking for a title for this video, it could be called Seventh-day Adventist Defend Your Slanderous Remarks. I have some friends on YouTube, and even though I've never met them, I do consider them to be a friend just with my dealings with them through emails and different things. And they choose one route to take when dealing with Seventh-day Adventist. I just happen to have chosen another route. I choose to call them out, call them what they are, and don't mix words about it. What I do is I choose to cleanse the temple. You read in Matthew chapter 21, starting in verse 12, where it says, Jesus entered the temple area and drove out all these engaged in selling and buying there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who were selling the doves. And he said to them, it is written, my Father's house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. In a way, these people were slandering God's name by doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And Jesus goes into the temple and simply cleanses the temple. I choose to cleanse the temple and show these slanderous remarks by a dishonest organization that I call the Seventh-day Adventist organization. And when I say the organization, here's why too. I found these slanderous remarks on numerous Seventh-day Adventist independent ministry websites. I've seen Seventh-day Adventist after Seventh-day Adventist quoting these slanderous remarks. But yet, when challenged, they choose to run and hide rather than defend their slander. And you've got to ask yourself the question, if they're right, if their quote is right, why don't they accept a legitimate challenge to defend it? The simple fact is, they don't do any research into the matter. They could care less if it's accurate or not. As long as it's against the Catholic Church, to them, anything is fair. It doesn't matter if it's a slander, it's a lie, or whatever it is. But here's the bottom line on it, though. When all the slander has been answered, and when all is said and done, it boils down to who is doctrinally correct and who is not. It will boil down to doctrines. I've even challenged Seventh-day Adventists to defend their doctrines, and I will answer Catholic doctrines, but yet they run from that as well. And you've got to ask yourself why. If they're so right in their doctrines, if they think they're so true, why don't they simply just show what they believe and challenge me on the doctrines of the Catholic Church and the doctrines of their organization? You see, some of them know that that's exactly what I want them to do. I want them to put out what they believe so other people can see exactly what they do believe. See, it's one thing to go make a comment on a video, and you really can't accomplish anything through comments. I think most people realize that. If you're going to really take a look at the doctrines, it has to be done in a video type format or some other way, but simply doing it through comments is not going to answer anything. In fact, all they do is, they really never make any statements anyway other than, well, read this or read that. So it's going to boil down to doctrines. And if they're so right, why don't they defend them? See, when they have to begin showing the things they believe, then people are going to see, Ben Golly was right. This is what they do believe. They are misinterpreting the Bible. They are taking things from a failed prophetic chart and false predictions on the return of Christ and plagiarism and vision from Ellen White and building a church on it. I'm working on a video now that deals with the sermon delivered to the General Conference by their new president, Ted Wilson. I think when I get through that video, you'll see more about what I'm talking about. But it all boils down to doctrines, not the slander, even though you've got to answer it. But when it comes to this slander, I choose to cleanse the temple. So Seventh-day Adventists, defend your slanderous remarks. Rather than running and hiding and not even answering when you have shown it to be totally wrong. They just, well, look at this one. What about this one? And then you get through defending that one. Well, what about this one? And then what about this one? You go on and on and on with the slanderous remarks they make. Walter Veith and other members of the Seventh-day Adventist organization, independent ministries, it's scattered all over. The most dishonest thing to me is that when they've been debunked and the truth has been shown, they still continue to use it. Oh, that's real Christian, isn't it? But then I don't think the organization is a Christian organization anyway. I made that known quite a while back. I don't think the organization is a Christian organization to begin with. So the bottom line is, Seventh-day Adventists, defend your slander. Because you can bet I will continue cleansing the temple. Until next time, this has been Golly saying, God bless.